What's up guys, Mickle here, and in this video we're going to be going over a breaking new filing in the Ripple SEC case that you guys are definitely going to want to see. Ripple just filed their response to the SEC once again objecting to handing over the documents that led to the Bill Hinman Ethereum free pass speech. In this video, we're going to go over exactly what Ripple had to say in this filing because guys, Ripple is stepping up the pressure against the SEC. They are not happy with these delay tactics. We're going to go over what Ripple said in this filing because guys, they blasted the SEC, but we're also going to take a look at what some different lawyers on Twitter had to say about this and even talk about how this is going to impact this case going forward. Yesterday, we also had the SEC going after 9 new projects. This has huge implications and is going to be a very big deal for every single cryptocurrency out there. In this video, I want to break down some very interesting notes that I saw being talked about. You guys are definitely going to want to see these because it's really going to expose how absurd the SEC is being, and it might have some pretty big implications for the entire crypto industry. Make sure you guys stick around for that. Like always, if you guys are new to this channel or come here all the time, please take a second to hit the like and subscribe button down below. It goes such a long way in helping this channel grow, and it really does mean so much to me. If you guys are ever looking for a good place to buy some XRP, make sure to check out the link in the description below. With that said though, let's jump right into it, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. Real quick guys, MOO-MOO is running an awesome promotion where if you sign up on their platform and deposit just $1, you'll be eligible to win 6 free stocks. Each one of these stocks could be worth up to $1,000, so make sure to check that out if you guys want some free stocks. Let's jump into it though, and if you guys didn't see my video yesterday, and this is very big news, yesterday the SEC sued a former employee at Coinbase for insider trading, but the very sneaky thing they did when they did this was they actually alleged that this Coinbase employee was trading securities when she was working at Coinbase. This was a pretty sneaky move by the SEC because the SEC has learned the hard way that trying to fight a big dog like Ripple costs a lot of money because Ripple can hire very expensive lawyers. Because of this, the SEC is looking for an easier and cheaper way to designate some of these projects as securities. So what they did was they sued an individual, claimed she was trading illegal securities, and then stated what those illegal securities are. This way, the different projects could not actually get involved in this case, and it's simply up to this former employee to fight on whether or not these 9 different cryptocurrencies that the SEC is claiming are securities or not. This was a very sneaky move by the SEC, and it definitely pissed off a lot of different people in the crypto community, but also a lot of different regulators. One thing that I thought was very interesting was that Coinbase definitely kicked back on this. Coinbase is in the worst position out of anyone because essentially Coinbase is being told they had illegal securities listed, but they're not even allowed in this case. It's all up to their former employee to fight off the SEC. So essentially Coinbase is really getting screwed over because if the SEC wanted to make this a fair fight, they would have just sued Coinbase. But the SEC wanted to do this in a sneaky way and wanted an easier fight, so they sued the former employee, but in the process are essentially saying Coinbase did something illegal too. Coinbase just can't fight it. One thing that was pretty interesting though, and I saw this just the other day, is that when Coinbase issued their response to the SEC doing this, they actually brought up something very interesting, and it related to XRP. This was brought up by whatever this guy's name is, and he said, wow, this must be the first time Coinbase has recognized XRP community since the case started. And let's take a look at this. This is directly from the Coinbase issue statement. Coinbase said, perhaps worst of all, the SEC's approach has created enormous risk for investors. We saw this in vivid detail when the commission brought an enforcement action against Ripple after years of taking no action against them, claiming XRP is a security. The value of XRP dropped immediately, costing investors huge sums of money. The XRP case is especially notable because there is a disagreement even within the federal government about whether XRP is a security or not. FinCEN determined it was not a security, and then the SEC said it was. So right here, we see Coinbase coming out for one of the first times I have seen blasting the SEC for attacking the XRP community. While I thought this whole statement was pretty good in general, the last statement I thought was awesome and really hits on one of the biggest issues with this current Ripple SEC case. And that's where they point out that within the federal government itself, there's a huge disagreement on whether or not XRP is even a security. And they point out that a while ago in 2015, FinCEN had already determined that XRP was not a security. This really goes to show how absurd the SEC is being. Everyone in the market thought XRP was not a security because the US government came out and directly told everyone that XRP is not a security. The SEC came around 6 to 7 years later and stated the complete opposite and said it should have been obvious to everyone that this entire time XRP was a security. It's completely absurd, and Coinbase does an excellent job pointing this out. I think it's a little late, we've been waiting on this for a while, but nevertheless, it's still great to see Coinbase taking our back. A few Coinbase employees also came out and made some very interesting statements. Take a listen to this. Coinbase has a rigorous process to analyze and review each digital asset before making it available on our exchange, a process that the SEC itself has reviewed. We have cooperated with both the DOJ and SEC on this investigation. The DOJ reviewed the facts and chose not to file a securities fraud charge against those involved. So very interesting. This Coinbase employee directly tells us that the SEC has reviewed the process that Coinbase uses to list a digital asset. So if the SEC has reviewed this process, this means the SEC has essentially okayed a subset of requirements a digital asset must meet to not be considered a security. Now, because Coinbase listed XRP and because the SEC has reviewed Coinbase's process for listing non-securities, that means the SEC essentially okayed to the fact that XRP does not meet the qualifications to be a security. It's completely absurd, and once again, we see the SEC being completely hypocritical. They allowed Coinbase to list assets on their exchange. Coinbase gave them a form of what they look for to not be a security. The SEC reviewed and okayed this form, and Coinbase met with the SEC about XRP passing all the qualifications, and they were allowed to list XRP by the SEC. It is completely insane that a couple years later, the SEC has the audacity to come down the pipeline and say that XRP was clearly and obviously a security. The only thing clear and obvious is that the SEC has no idea what they're doing. One thing that I want to quickly address, though, is whether or not the SEC essentially filed this new case against this Coinbase employee, alleging that these different crypto assets were securities, essentially to front run the Ripple SEC case and try to get a determination that would be favorable in that case so they could come back to the Ripple case and say, look, this was ruled on like this, and this here, so now you have to make this determination. Jeremy Hogan addressed this. He said it's possible, but after watching the Ripple litigation unfold, I'm not sure the SEC is this forward thinking, to be honest. So I completely agree with Jeremy Hogan here. Based on how poorly the SEC has litigated the Ripple SEC case, I do not think there is any way this is some elaborate plan to start the Ripple SEC case and then start another case, try to get a good determination in the other case, and then use that determination to bring it back into the Ripple case and try to win the Ripple case that way. I have a feeling the SEC is just realizing they are getting their butt whipped in the Ripple SEC case, and they need to very quickly start a new case so that they do not lose all their jurisdiction over the entire crypto industry. Unless the SEC is completely delirious, it's pretty obvious they are not going to get the outcome they were looking for in the Ripple SEC case, so I think they're just trying to start up some other cases so that they can hopefully get at least one security designation for a crypto token. That way, when this whole thing is said and done, they will at least have some jurisdiction over the crypto industry, because it doesn't look like that's going to happen with the current Ripple SEC case. So I want to quickly go over a brand new filing in the Ripple SEC case before I let you go, because guys, Ripple has really been turning up the heat against the SEC. They are showing the court the SEC's absurd behavior and letting them know the SEC should not be allowed to get away with this. James K. Filan tweeted out, Ripple defendants file their opposition to the SEC's motion requesting an excess length brief and a reply brief in support of the SEC's forthcoming objections to Judge Netburn's order compelling the SEC to release the Hinman documents. So essentially, the SEC is once again saying they do not want to hand over the Bill Hinman Ethereum free pass documents and saying that they want some extra space to object Judge Netburn's previous decisions and ask Judge Torres in a 40-page brief to reverse Judge Netburn's decisions. So Ripple actually responded to this, and I really like some of the things Ripple said here. Actually, Prosper tweeted out, Ripple has responded to the SEC's request to file extra pages and a reply brief re its upcoming objections, Judge Netburn's ruling. Love this part right here. And the Ripple attorney said, for months the SEC has delayed, offering new, often conflicting arguments and objections. Judge Netburn has patiently and diligently addressed each of these SEC arguments in turn in relation to these documents and rejected them all. So right here, Ripple is making it so clear to Judge Torres. All these issues have already been talked about time and time again, and the SEC can't even get an answer straight. The SEC is just changing their arguments to try to win each different hearing, and in the process completely conflicting each one. The SEC has been completely hypocritical and just doing anything they can to delay this decision. At the end of the day, Judge Neprin has already made it extensively clear. These documents are getting handed over to Ripple, and the SEC just cannot seem to process that that's the way this is going to go. Right here, Ripple is calling out the SEC for their absurd tactics over the last couple years, and even said that discovery has been over for 11 months, and it's been more than a year that Ripple and the SEC has been fighting on this. There is no reason for Judge Torres to reverse Judge Neprin's decisions. Judge Neprin has made it clear these documents are going over to Ripple and has given her logic to why that's the case, and that logic is sound in nature. I do not think there's any way that Judge Torres is going to overturn Judge Neprin anyway. I think she might let the SEC write this 40-page reply brief just to tell them, hey, it didn't matter anyway, you still need to hand these documents over. But I guess we'll see what happens. Either way, I do not think the SEC is going to get away with this BS and not hand over the Hinman documents. This is another delay tactic. The SEC is going to keep playing this game until they figure out a way to get out of this case, not hand over the Hinman emails. But guys, I think in the process, they're going to have to give XRP clarity. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming. Make sure to like and subscribe. It really does mean so much. And for now, Mickle out.